I've been busy. Still been somewhat engaged in Madden, and still definitely still know the market from my last video when the draft hit. The market crashed severely, and I was in selling mode. And I did sell, and I got my coins back up to I don't know 7, 8 million. And still kept a 97 overall team. But I was in selling mode. I just couldn't buy. I had to start selling those cards. So in the meantime, after I got all those coins and I got back in, you get bored. And I started buying packs because of the golden ticket. And I just like buying packs sometimes. I know I shouldn't, but I want to go over three things. And these three things are going to be for the rest of this year, but also carry over into Madden 19. And this is to avoid spending real money. The good thing about a coin in Madden is it has no value. I can't buy milk with it, but I can build them up without having to spend any money either. The only thing you're going to spend is time and research, and it all depends on if you like that. And you don't have to study it, but just look periodically. So here's the three things. Very simple. I'm just going to shoot it straight. Buy right, be patient, sell right. That's it. The second and third one, the buying right, you need to know what they're worth. The be patient and sell right is the tricky part. Okay? You got to know what they're worth. Then you're going to have enough confidence to understand that it might not come up right away, but that it is a good enough card that it's going to come back up. Tom Brady went down to 250 last Saturday. Dan Marino came out. Dan Marino was a pocket passer, really good card. It affected the other pocket passers. Aaron Rodgers, which has somewhat mobility, but he went down to 180. Ben Roethlisberger went under 200. Tom Brady went to 250. So it affected the pocket passes. It didn't affect the Vicks and the Mariotas as much, and the Newtons. What really affected those players was the draft promo. That killed those players. Cam Newton is now a 300K card. Mike Vick is a 275 to 350 card. Mariota is a 260 to three and a quarter card. So Mariota, I'm going to get to, but it really affected Newton and Vick. Marino affected Brady, Rogers, Carr. The pocket passers. Some of them do have some mobility, but it definitely affected Brady. Now I bought a few of these all at 250, and I'll sell them worst case 299. And I'm trying to get in that 319 range right now, but I know I will get them. So I know that it was 400K card. I know it's going to take a hit for the rest of the season, but it's not going to take a 50% hit. It's still going to be a 300K card. So if you can get it for 250 and then you can sell it, you're good. Now you got to have the coins. So you got to know the cards. And then you got to be patient, and then you got to know when to sell. You might not sell them the first time. Believe me. Believe me, believe me. And then there are times when you make a mistake. And on my last video, I'm going to go over a big mistake I made, which I've gone over multiple times. These boss battle players, I got it wrong. I got it wrong. I got it wrong. Probably lost, I had 7 of them. I bet you I lost easily 700K in coins, okay, in them. And I still have these two to get rid of because I got Khalil Mack now. But believe me, I made more than that. Right now it says 2.5. I have 98 overall. I have up my team. In the meantime, I still have been buying and selling. And if I sold everything I need to sell, not my starters, I'm still going to be back up to 8 million and have a 98 overall. And that's really my goal. I want to have coins, but I also want a high overall so I can pretend like I can compete, but I can't. If my gameplay was good as my team, believe me, I'd be in the top 100 every week, but I've been having trouble. But here's a couple things you can do. I'm going to give you. Those are the three things you need to know for Madden 18 and going into Madden 19. Do your research, figure it out, and don't be afraid to go with your gut. And you're going to be wrong sometimes. So I stopped doing the 8-10,000 like in this draft promo, trying to snipe, the rookie cards for 8-10K and then put together a set. I stopped doing that. It's just too much time. It's not fun for me anymore. But if you don't have the coins, that's the way to go. But here's what you can do on Saturdays and Tuesdays. I've noticed that there's a little window here. It's going to take a little bit of your gut and there's a little bit of risk, but it's kind of fun. What you can do is when these players first come out, okay, Dan Marino, I'm going to go in. You can put together these sets right here. If you have the coins, when this first came out last Saturday, I missed it. I'm just going to be honest. I missed it. People are pulling these packs. They don't know which one of these cards, and it's not going to be the 90 or the 92, but the top three, it could be any one of those that is going to have the least amount of supply out there. But when people are pulling them, they don't know which one that's going to be. Everybody's always going to assume, as would be natural, that it's going to be the 96. In cases like Calvin Johnson, it's not. It's the 95. Dan Marino, it's the 95. Those are the ones that are going to go for 3, 4, 5, 6 times as much as the other ones because of the supply. So last Saturday, this came out. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to put together a couple sets, because I know that people don't know what they're worth. So, I put a DeMarcus Ware set together probably for 250. I think I put two of them together, 250, 300. I did sell one for 400. Now I'm having trouble getting rid of the other one for 330, 350. But I still think that this is a 400K card. But Marino, the 96 and the 95, when they first started hitting the market, they were going for pretty much the same price. And then you just got to watch both of them. And you could just sit here before you buy one and just look. The 96s were in that 200 to 250 range, and the 95s were in that. I saw a 95 go down to 150. And I was like, which one is it? Because, and I went wrong. I picked the 96. I got a 96 for 150. Guess what? It's a 100K card now. But I didn't see it. It's a gamble. But usually you can do it's a 50-50 gamble. Now, with this 95, watch this. Now, this was a 400K card. Now it's dipping. But there's just none of them out there. So you could have got this card. And I'm not telling you you could have bought 10 or 20 of them. But you could have definitely got. If I took the risk, I could have got 4 or 5 at 200, 210, 220, 180. Definitely right around there when they first come out. So maybe what I should have done is just buy both. But, if this one, there are players that they're all going to be very similar. But Marino, is going to be a 600K card. So one of them is going to be worth 300K, 400K. One of them, if it's 600. Calvin Johnson, that 95 is between 7 and 820. It's a big range, but you can get them for under 7, barely under 7. So you could do that and put together sets, except for this Ray Lewis. Don't bother that. But like this Marino, where I've put together Kevin Williams sets when the market crashed. Barry Sanders, I bet you I've done a few. I've probably done 3 or 4 Barry Sanders. I've done 2 or 3 Brian Dawkins. When these cards are hitting, not just when they first come out, but when people are ripping through those packs, put together these sets. Brian Dawkins is a 450 card, 450 to 500K card with toughness chemistry. See if you can put together a set for 380. Saturday mornings, typically you can if you get one of the top 2 cheap. Like this one, you got to get for 150, which is possible. I've done it. And this one you got to get for about 100. If you get those 2, And then you can get these three for typically 30 to 40K. And I bet you, these have been going down. I bet you can get them for 20. No. See, right now there's just not a lot of them out there. So this card, you probably can't do it right now because there are more of the other cards being pulled. But those players, Barry Sanders, Brian Dawkins, stay away from Bruce Smith because he's 300K. But you need the player to be worth roughly 400K or more, because the bottom three cards typically go for that 30 to 50K range. So that's going to take up a large portion of it. And so, like on a 300K card, if you have to buy 5 cards, the average has to be 60K. That's why a Warren Moon, just doesn't make any sense, because you're never going to get 88 or 90 or 91 for 20K. You're going to be in that 30 to 40K. And the cards are one right now, a 140 card, but even when it was a 2.25 card, just you couldn't put even if you got the 94 at 50K, you get this one at 30, 40. That's 90, and then you get these three for 30. That's 180. It doesn't make sense. So there's not enough reward there. Ed Reed, you can. I think I put together a couple, but right now he's a 250 K card, 250 to 300. Randy Moss, if you got that 95 Randy Moss for under 200, and then you waited for a 94 for $120, then now you're in the money. So you could put together this set. The other thing I want to go over in this draft, guys, I wouldn't do this. It's just too tedious. I haven't even done my challenges. It's just, but if you have the coins, put together this set. Put it together. And if you play weekend league or you play seasons, this is an easy way to make your team better. You can put together this set for 900K, 950, very easily. 500 there. This is not to make coins, by the way. This is to make your team better. 200, so at 700. 700. Now we're at 850. We'll go 150 there. And so we're at 935. So 935. Then you take, if you want, there's good players in there. Ward here. Chubb's good, but Ward, he's just as good, if not, he's just as good as Night Train Lane. The difference is chemistry. You could pick on Night Train Lane. Donald's definitely good. Barkley is just as good as Christopher Johnson. Very comparable to any other halfback out there. So get them as a nat, and then you take your ones that you have that you can sell. What I would do is do it in positions that you don't have nat players, and then sell those players and get coins. And now you're in the plus of those coins, and you can take your master, and you can either keep them or sell them for, don't get Luck, but get Mac or Bosa. I would get Mac. Sell them for 550 to 600. For 400K, you're going to get a 98, a 97, a 96, and 95. You will not ever get a better deal than that. Never. It's like getting a Night Train Lane. I'm just going to put comparable. A Mike Singletary, full legend, because Raquan Smith's very comparable. A Dontari Poe, I would say. Even the right tackle or center, I would put not as good as Matthews or Deerdorf, but and then a John Ross, almost like a John Ross, for a returner. DJ Moore is definitely a good returner. So you can get all of those for like 300 or 400K. And you could sell the players that you have that those are going to replace, and either recoup all of your money and upgrade, or and make coins. Actually, you should make coins. So, I had Christopher Johnson as a backup. Now I have Barkley, and I sold Christopher Johnson for 300, 270 after the VIG. So I think if you have the coins, put this together. If you want to make your team better, I'm not telling you to do this to make coins. It's not a viable way to make coins. But to make your team better for a low cost, this is the way to go. And then you can keep the players. I still wouldn't get luck though. But those are the things. So remember, buy right, be patient, sell right, and then know your players. But I hope you enjoyed it. I will try to get back to you guys shortly, soon. And until next time, thank you for listening. All the best.